Hello, this is Jason Slick. I'm a forensic accounting investigator for Xtricate, and today I'll be showing you how to use our tools to enter bank statements more effectively to spreadsheets. First thing we're going to do is look at our example. Here's our bank statement example. It's laid out like any bank statement with information, including beginning balances, deposits, credits, ending balance, and all the information that we need. We're going to use OmniPage, which is a program by Nuance. This is the OCR program we use here in the office. You can use any OCR program as long as it exports text files. Now when you open the file in OmniPage, it automatically does all the work for you, but we want to go through and just get the sections that are important to us. So we're going to do some manual zones. Alright, first you select the information by right-clicking and select all, and use the delete button to delete the zones selected by the system. Now we'll select the Draw Text Zone tool, and we'll go and select just the information that is important to us: the deposit, the checks, and the withdrawals. Now we'll rerun the OCR. Okay, so now we rerun the OCR on the information we want, and we want to now save to a text file. We're going to save it to ocrexample.txt. Okay, now we're going to open that file, and you see we've got the various sections: the deposit area, the checks area, and the withdrawals area. Now you'll see there's an extra section because OmniPage had auto-selected the second page, and so we have the daily ending balance, which is not important to what we're doing right now. Okay, so we're going to select the deposit area, and we're going to use the Data Zone Translator. Now we're using the shortcut keys. Shortcut keys include Control A for select all, Control C for copy, and Control V for paste. Now we're going to Control V and paste our information into the bank statement area. Now we know the year is 2007 from looking at our statement. We know that the types are credits or deposits to the account, and we believe that this is the closest format that we can use: date, note, amount, and note. Now we do not have this second note, but the system will just bypass that. Okay, by hitting go, we have now created the transaction data, which we can use our shortcut keys to Control A or select all, Control C copy, and now we open up our transaction spreadsheet and use Control V to paste. You'll see everything is lined up: the notes, the credit amount, the transaction type, and the date where they're supposed to be. So let's now do the other sections and get them translated in. Here are the checks. Now usually you'll have a lot more data than our simple example here. We'll Control V to get the checks information. Now we need to select the type, checks or debits, and the layout. Check number, date, note, and amount. We hit go. As you see, it creates all the transaction data, and we do our Control A for select all, Control copy, which is Control C, and now Control V to move it. And you see it continues to lay everything out correctly. Check numbers are in the check field, notes are in the note field, dates are in the date field. Gives it its own transaction type. Now let's go get the last section, which are the withdrawals. Control copy. Go to our program here, paste it in. Now we got to select the type. We know it's a debit. Now it's got a different format. It's got a date, a note, and an amount. And as we see, without that extra note, this will be no problem. Alright, so now we Control A, Control C, and take all of this to our spreadsheet. Now we have a spreadsheet with the proper information, and we're going to want to do a little work so that we can verify that everything is correct. So first thing we're going to do is select the data we just entered and sort by its date time to order them up. As you see, everything is now in order. Okay, it's very important within our system. We like to have a date time specific. We use this instead of an identity field so that we can keep everything in order. So what we're going to do now is select the dates that we wanted and go convert them into date time using a program called the DO Data Converter. Now we'll Control V to paste into it. We'll go select the General tab, and from the General tab we're going to select Add Timestamp to Date, and we're going to start at 8 o'clock in the morning. And all this does is creates the transaction information that we need to go back to the spreadsheet. There you go. And now for each date there's a date time specific to it. And so now you can always order back at that date time. Now we're not done because we need to calculate the running balance to match it with our statement. So first thing we're going to do is go back to our statement, and we're going to look at the beginning balance. The beginning balance is $350,611.77. And we'll go and put that right here into our start balance field. Now from here, we need to verify that all of the information OCR'd out is correct. And what's most important is that the credit and debit amounts are correct. So we use a program called the running balance, which is just a macro within a spreadsheet. So now we'll just select this area right here that's important to us. We'll go open up our running balance Excel spreadsheet and just paste the information in. This is under the same layout as our transaction spreadsheet. Now you make sure and paste the information on the input account page. You click the action sheet button and it launches this little macro interface where you just hit go and it calculates all of that information for you right here into the. So now we're going to copy and paste back to the spreadsheet that we're working on. Okay, so now if everything matches up, our ending balance for the month should match up with our statement. Go to our statement, $366,119.34. Go to our spreadsheet, $366,119.34. So now we've managed to input all of the data, organize it, run a running balance. Now we know that this month is done. You can come in and add a reference to the PDF that the information was taken from. And we're going to go ahead and do that first before we get out of here. So our is bank statement example. We're going to just copy the name. And being that the Excel spreadsheet exists on the same level as the PDF, we'll just copy it, paste it in, boom. And later on, if you ever needed for a particular transaction to know what document that came from, it is right here as its own field in the data. Thanks for looking at our tutorial, and keep your eye out for more.